Whoa, Mark, what do you got going on here?
All right, so Kevin, what you're looking at is something we would typically do for a homeowner. This is just a dry lay of all brick patterns that would be available to them.
So they can make a choice as to what they want their walkway or their walls to look like.
Exactly.
Lay it out here like this.
Exactly.
And are they picking sort of just for aesthetics, or are you telling them one's stronger, weaker, better, worse than the others?
All right, so this day and age, everything is a veneer, so there's really no structural element to the brickwork anymore. Back in the day, there was certainly a structural element to it.
All right, so what gives it structure, and what's good structure versus lesser structure?
So if you take these bonds right in front of you, you can see how we have what we call a header course. This brick would actually tie into the brick course behind it and tie into the one behind that.
It starts sort of weaving in, so
Weaving
it makes
in
a
and
stronger wall than sort of just laid out.
Exactly.
All right, so you want to start with just the walkway type stuff?
Okay, to start with, this is what we call a running bond. It's the easiest, it's the least expensive. It can be done on a patio, it can be done on a wall, it can be done on a walkway, it can be laid this way, it can be laid that way. Sometimes if you have a big enough patio, it can be laid diagonally.
Right.
So a lot of options with the running bond.
The point is, it's one course laid out in a line, and
Right.
the next one's next to it, but split sort of halfway in between.
Yes.
Simplest. Where do we go from here?
The next simplest would be this basket weave. You can see that's fairly simple to lay as well. Masons always talk about 4 inches and 8 inches to give you the perfect layout. This is what you have with a basket weave. You can take this pattern and just continue it to the right and to the left, and you won't have any cuts.
4 wide lines up perfectly with 8 long.
Exactly.
I guess a little bit more complicated than this, but not significant.
Not too much, but once you jump up to this pattern, which is what we call a herringbone, right away you can see that you're going to be using more material because it's laid on edge. But as you creep out to the edge of the walkway or the patio, you're going to incur a lot of cuts with this pattern, which is why it's going to be very expensive.
Because you want to end in a straight line, which means something's got to go away.
Exactly.
So more time to sort of lay it out, get your head around that, but then also you're going to lose material.
Exactly.
Okay, so simplest up to most complicated
Right.
for laying flat, for walkways.
Exactly.
Are these walls?
So this is where we jump into the walls. This is the simplest. This is what we call an American bond.
America.
America. You can see that we take the running bond and we put it in between what we call the header courses, and this being the tie-in.
Okay.
All right, you can see we've used 4 courses here, but you can actually use 5, 6, or 7 courses before you put that top header course in.
Oh, so this is what you say back in the day, they were structural.
That's right.
So this idea that this guy's running this way, but then the header is cutting over it and coming back, that's the tie-in.
That's the tie-in, right.
Why are we the simplest?
When we came over from Europe, we did not take brick with us, so we still had to import them. So when we were building our houses, the more running bond we could use, the cheaper it would be. But we
Conserve the
still
material.
needed to tie it in.
Okay, and who's this?
All right. This is what we call an English bond.
Figures.
As you go higher with your brickwork, you can go to the first floor, the second floor, the third floor. You're going to want to tie in, and you're going to want a stronger wall. That's why, again, you'll see these header courses
Every other row.
every other row.
So your running bond course, but then a header course.
Right.
Way more material, lasts more.
Right. So
Okay.
continuing to tie in.
Gotcha. So strength comes from that.
That's right.
English.
Yes.
All right, who we got here?
This guy here is the Flemish bond. It's actually my favorite. It gives you a lot of aesthetic value, but it also continues to tie the walls together.
So this one is regular course, header course, regular course. Now we've got a regular course interrupted with header,
That's right.
and then again, regular interrupted with header.
That's right. And don't forget, these headers that we're looking at are all tying into the second course.
So more material and more labor.
Right. And you got to pay attention to this one a little bit more, only because you don't want these joints to get any bigger than 3/8 of an inch.
Gotcha. So walkways and walls, and now I'm never going to be able to look at a brick building again without thinking America,
Yeah.
English, Flemish, or what have you.
Right. No, you can see the beauty a mile away.
Very cool.
Yep, it's great.
Thank you, Mark.
Great
That's
work.
great.
All right, Kevin.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button. Make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.